statistically, if you should find the church of 100%, 90% of us don't do the will of God. And 90% of us don't want to hear the will of God. Because guess what? Many are the plans in our heart. You don't believe me? Isaiah, when he was called in Isaiah 6, he said, I saw the Lord high and lifted up. And the strength filled the whole room. And in verse 8, the Lord said, who will go and bear witness to my people? And Isaiah said, send me. That's the will of God. And Isaiah ran with the gospel message and he prophesied that he was a true man of God. But in Isaiah 20, the Lord said to Isaiah, strip off all of your clothes. Take off your shoes. Walk naked for 3 years. And bawl out war to Judah and Jerusalem. And all of a sudden, here am I. Send me is not what Isaiah sings anymore. I would beg to tell you of Ezekiel and Hosea and Jeremiah, but you know them already. How they all answered God's call. But when they begin to hear like the prophet Jonah, where God requires of them, they say, I'm not in the... Like all of us. When first we started for the Lord, we did not count the cost. Because Christian now want to be hungry. And Christian now want to live right. Christian now want to talk right. Christian now want to eat right. Christian now want to wear right. Christian now want to be right. Christian don't want to be holy. So the truth is, we are glad because it's sweet to him out. But it becomes bitter to our heart. So why not change verse 10, Mr. Francis? Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Change that. Since you're about to change, you should have started there. So. Because the first thing is that word is fulfilling on you, Mr. Francis. Think about it. He's not allowing the will of God to be done. So he should have changed that first. But he goes on after the will of the devil. Watch this. In verse 13, we are told from Matthew 6.
And lead us not into temptation. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the devil. You know why Pontiff Paul, what's his name, Francis, want to change this one? Because of the best one. No! This is the one where Christianity want here. You're not getting it. Let me take my time with you. None of us want to be tempted. So don't lead us into temptation, Lord. None of us want to be held by Satan. So deliver us from evil, Lord. You're not getting it. Nobody wants to be tempted by the devil. As a matter of fact, nobody wants to have nothing to do with the devil. And people say, look, nothing in the name Satan is non-existent. You don't realize that the false prophet is getting the people on his side? Little after this, when your children grow up, they will be hearing, oh! I'm trying to remember what is it. It's on my thing there, but I can't look for it now. I Google every day, you know. Mr. Francis said, he doesn't want the church to say, and lead us not into temptation. He wants the church, I'm going to find it. That's what he said? You sure? You sure? All right. Somebody is saying that he said, help us not to fall into temptation. I'll take your word. No, let me ask you. If we are not supposed to be tempted, that means we are not supposed to be opposed by the devil. Now question, who does the devil oppose? Right. Can't you see? Yes, you're right. He says, do not let us fall into temptation. That's what he wants it to be changed to, and it has been changed to that. So if we don't fall, put that down. When the children ready for get trouble, just send them out. And then trouble time now, it starts. If we don't fall into temptation, it simply means it's a big person you're supposed to do. We do not have the devil fighting us. If we don't fall into temptation, how on earth will we be proved to be Christians? If you turn your scriptures 2 pages to the left, you're going to see something. Thank you. Do you have the mic? Go ahead, because Sister Louis.
Then was Jesus led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted.
In Matthew 4 verse 1.